here we go. We have Trevor Hopkins, our championship leader, on the back row of the grid, and that means he's got a lot to do here if he's going to pick up points to retain that championship lead. So Trevor on the back row with the Shell Oils RS200. As we come forward, you can see the intense competition that he has to face, headed out by pole position Mark Rennison, Barry Hathaway on the centre, John Smith with the Shell Oils Street of Fashions X-Track, the ex-Martin Skanker car on the outside, Mike Shield and Dimmy Mavropoulos on the second row, and there from our camera car, Will Gollop, you can see just what it's like to be in the middle of the grid as they leave and head towards paddock bend at a tremendous rate of knots, and it is John Smith who's got the steal of everybody. John Smith smoking a bit with the X-Track, but don't worry too much about that, and John takes his X-Track powered car down, tumble downhill in the lead as Barry Hathaway gets a little bit out of line. Meantime, a big traffic jam of cars going through, headed by John Smith, Mark Rennison, Dimmy Mavropoulos, Will Gollop, Trevor Hopkins, Mike Shield and Will Gollop there. Mike Shield and Barry Hathaway almost side by side. Will Gollop into fourth place behind the Blackbird, Dimmy Mavropoulos with the fearsome 660 brake horsepower Audi Quattro S1, now going through Langley's Gap there in third place. But as they come along the knife edge for the first time, Will Gollop with a lot to do. Will, how's it feel there in third spot?
It's a little bit slipperier than I thought across the knife edge, but the tarmac is drying considerably.
You've got the right tyres.
And I've now got no clutch.
Oh dear. Well, no clutch there for Will Gollop, so that's going to be a problem for him as he says he doesn't use the clutch as he goes down through the gears. That's what he'll be doing at that point, into and out of the chicane. But up the top of the hill comes one of the oldest men in British Rallycross, John Smith, but still a young man at heart, and a very spirited performance from him at the moment as he goes down into tumble downhill. Mark Rennison still in second spot. Dimmy Mavropoulos, who always goes well here at Brands Hatch, sitting there in third place with the Shell Oils Audi Quattro, just ahead of Will Gollop. Will very much the meat in a shell sandwich there, really, because he's got Trevor Hopkins just behind him, and our championship leader at the moment having to fight his way through the order, still trailing Will Gollop and Dimmy Mavropoulos, but ahead of those two cars beginning to break clear, and it's Mark Rennison now trying to do something about the leader, John Smith. There goes our leader then, Gentleman John, up the top, over the brow of Poppy's Drop, comes from Folkestone down here in Kent. Behind him, a gaggle of cars. You can see the two 6R4s there. Mike Shield still being headed by Barry Hathaway, but up front from Will Gollop's cockpit, we can indeed see a view of the opposition ahead. Meantime, on this much drier circuit here this afternoon, it's our two leaders coming through the chicane, headed still by John Smith. And you'll see that the smoke has now vanished, and well, as I speak, so it comes back again on the overrun, and Rennie there with flame coming from his exhaust, and I think Mark's probably got the boost turned up quite a bit on the turbo now with the RS200, trying to do something about our leader as they go away, accelerating up into the Druids hairpin with these very, very powerful cars, around about 600 brake horsepower under the right foot control of these drivers, down through Langley's Gap onto the notorious knife edge and away towards the checkered flag, and it's going to be John Smith turning in a good drive here to win this one from Mark Rennison. A nice big gap between those two cars for this terrific battle for third place, just taken by Dimmy Mavropoulos from Will Gollop. Behind them, Trevor Hopkins and the rest of the order coming through, but none of them could beat this man, John Smith from Folkestone, making a great start here this afternoon in the first heat.
2 weeks back you had the smash with Dimmy, then you had a gearbox problem last week, and now it's the clutch. What else is there to go wrong?
That's right, only the engine, but keep fingers crossed, that'll be all right.
Are you going to be able to sort this out?
Yes, yeah, we shouldn't have a problem. It's really just, we're losing fluid pressure in the clutch, and we've got a clutch from the start line, but we've got no clutch once we're going.
Oh dear, so what's the answer? Just keep going and keep smiling?
That's right, yeah. Smashing the gears through, unfortunately. But